Stewart said, happiness is really a value that both of us have, that both of us share. I think that's something that you guys probably share with us as well. And I'm not talking about just jovial happiness or on the surface, put on the Pharrell song, happy and dance around for a few minutes, but genuinely in a place in life where you are not only in full acceptance of who you are, fully self-expressed, content, at peace, comfortable in your own skin, but also you know your place in the world, why you're here, what is your cause, what is your purpose, and you're living a life, most importantly, of meaning. And I don't think there's any better topic to start a workshop like today, an event like today, a momentum day like today than on this topic. Because there are a lot of people in this world that aren't happy. I think we can all agree with that. Some people think it's a right. I deserve to be happy. Have you ever had that, you wake up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep, your mind is going, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's stress, depression, a nightmare. About 2 o'clock this morning, I woke up and I couldn't sleep. I flipped on the TV and the BBC News was kind of cycling.
Fuels this crisis.
Take a look.
The war in Syria. It's been called the deepest circle of hell. Yarmouk has become a byword for the barbarity of this war. The area's dwindling residents struggle merely to stay alive. The pianist of Yarmouk has provided a soundtrack to this suffering. For 4 years, he played songs of defiance. But now, even Aham Ahmed has lost hope. And he's on the move, across the border and into Turkey. A stranger in foreign lands.
In that context, what is happiness?
A little lost and lonely.
Like, do we even deserve to be happy when, I guess you could say, well, conveniently, that's not our problem, that's not my problem. I'm not saying that it is your problem or my problem, but we're all humans, right? And where we're born into, where we come from, I didn't consciously choose to be born into the family I was born into, and I'm not sure if any of you did. So life kind of is what it is. And I think the only thing that is more depressing than some of those scenes that I saw in the news this morning, I want to put today into context, into perspective. Because the only thing more reprehensible than the oppression, the incredible pain that is happening for so many millions of people, the only thing worse than that, where they live with the foot of oppression on their neck. Maybe not literally, but they don't have freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom of religion, freedom of expression. Kidding me? They don't even have water to drink. And you know what? If you're here today because you feel entitled to happiness and entitled to a 6-figure income and you're entitled to some sort of a push-button money-making system that's going to make you rich, you're in the wrong place. You're in absolutely the wrong place, because what we're here to do today is to create a paradigm where you are in full control of your circumstances and you take full responsibility for your circumstances wherever you're coming from. Because you know what? Worst case scenario, if you made it into this hotel, you've got first world problems at best. At best. And I'm saying that to myself as much as to anyone. 2 o'clock this morning, when I'm watching this on the news, I don't want to be watching that. But my sleep cycle's all screwed up. I just finished an incredible 3-day Platinum Brand Incubator workshop with an incredible, incredible group of people. And my heart's a little bit closer to the surface today than it usually is, just because of what we've just been through the last 3 days. As humans, we are incredibly resilient. There's almost nothing we can't overcome. There's almost nothing we can't overcome. There's almost nothing that we can't do if we set our minds to it. And just seeing those images on TV last night, just seeing that, and the will power just to live, to start on a somber mood, if that's what it takes for us to snap out of whatever it is that we're telling ourselves, whatever story we have about what's been holding us back to get here, at the same time that we're here today to talk about building momentum in an affiliate marketing business, which is an absolute luxury of a conversation to be having in the grand scheme of things, let's not forget that each and every one of us, deep down here inside, if we want something bad enough, we'll find a way to get it. You're here because you want something. But maybe you just want a taste of it. Maybe you just want to see it or experience it. But for the people that I'm referring to, it's a matter of life and death. You see what human beings, people like you and I, with lesser privileges, education, resources, money, what they're able to do just on willpower alone. After seeing that, I didn't need to sleep. In fact, I laid there and I thought to myself, it's an insult to what I just saw, to those people that, oh, I'm just going to drift back to sleep? Are you kidding me? At the same time, the reason that I woke up wasn't because I was so greatly refreshed from 18 hours a day for the last 3 days, intensive workshopping with our Platinum members, jet-lagged, dehydrated. I left the workshop last night, and I was supposed to meet the guys here for some curry, and I decided to sit down in my bed and just take a moment, just to kind of like, just take a breath. And I passed out. Just passed out, and that's the second day in a row that happened, which isn't like me. You know me, I'm always right back down. I love to hang out with you guys. But I was utterly exhausted. And I woke up at 2 o'clock, not because I was rested, but because I had tremendous anxiety about today. I'll be completely honest with you. 2 o'clock this morning, I thought to myself, I have nothing left to give. The tank is empty. The tank is empty. I mean, this is at least the story that's going on in my head. And but honestly, that's what I was feeling, and that's what woke me up. And I went through a variety of emotions, like we do in those moments. Feel sorry for yourself. Roll over to the other side. Try to rearrange the pillows. Goddamn pillows, so stiff. Rearranged it again. And then the pillows just weren't working. So I decided to flip the light on. And that's when I noticed what time it was. And then I realized I hadn't eaten anything since a very small salad for lunch. And then I realized that I was ravenously hungry and that I was supposed to be downstairs having curry with Connor and with Tony and with Ness and Tony and Carmen. And I was like, oh, man, the second night in a row I missed out on dinner. Felt sorry for myself a little bit more. A little bit more. Darn it. Because I really like that restaurant across the hallway. It's really nice food. And then after tossing and turning, and then I was like, God, it's so hot in here. So hot in this room. What the heck is going on? Why is it like, so I opened the door, and the door only opened for 4 inches, and then that pissed me off. Like, God damn, why can't the door open more than 4 inches? There's a railing, it's not like I'm gonna fall out. So like I stumbled to find the light switch, turn the light switch on. I go to the panel thing and try to adjust the temperature, and it says, please allow 15 minutes for the... I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Got back into bed, put the little side light on, pull the covers up, turned on the TV, the remote. Just press menu to sit back, relax, press menu to rent, whatever it is. So I press menu. It says, please call the front desk for authorization. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Life was horrible. I can't sleep, it's hot, I'm sweaty, I'm hungry, the door barely opens. I want to watch a movie, I can't watch a movie. Miss dinner, and I get really kind of cranky when I'm hungry. Does anybody else get cranky when they're hungry? A little bit? So then I was like, well, sometimes if on the remote in these hotels, you just press the channel, like channel up or down, it'll just go onto the TV. So that's what I did. And here I see these, as far as you can see, this stream of refugees. Anyone relate to this? Does anyone empathize, even if it's inconvenient just for a moment? Like, does it even cross your mind what's happening in the world right now? There's a lot of amazing things that are happening, don't get me wrong, and I'm not here to be a doomsday preacher. But seeing that put that little moment of time this morning at 2 o'clock into context, to put it into perspective. And I had to say, in that moment, it was humbling for me. It was humbling for me to be in that moment, feeling sorry for myself that I missed out on curry, that the air conditioner was going to take 16 minutes to kick in, the door only opened 4 inches, that the pillows were uncomfortable, that I was tired and unprepared. I had planned to get a good night's rest so I could get up early and prepare for today. Now I'm not going to sleep. Pissed off, like just feel it in that moment, you know? And we all have those moments. Or am I the only one that has moments like that? Really? I don't think you'd be in this room right now if you don't have moments like that. But it's all relative, right? It's all relative. And what that moment did for me was it put things into perspective. Put things into perspective. And I felt like a fool for even allowing those thoughts to dwell in my mind as long as they did. Those thoughts of feeling sorry for myself and, you know, damn pillow. Where's that damn light switch? These British switches are backwards. I couldn't find a jack to plug my phone in. All these things, right? And then I just felt so embarrassed that I let those thoughts even be present in my mind, that they even existed, that I even had those reactions, those emotions, those feelings at all. And seeing, you know, these young fathers just trying to save their kids. Like, do I have that kind of courage? Do I have that kind of bravery? Is there something big enough driving me to like leave my family behind and trek thousands of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, try to find, like, I don't know if I could do what this guy was doing. And the pianist, he showed up on he made it safely to Greece, and they were interviewing him, and he was weeping. He said, I don't know. He's like, I'm scared. I just don't know. We all have things that happen. We all have circumstances that we have to overcome. But at the end of the day, what we do with the opportunities that we have, that's something that's up to us. What we do with the opportunities that we are given is up to us. And that is something that all 7 billion people on this planet have in common. And you know, opportunity isn't something that's just available at the market or like at a buffet or at a drive-through that when you're ready for another opportunity, you just go get one. You know, life has a way of presenting opportunities at certain times in certain ways. And maybe that's an opportunity to escape. Like my grandfather, years ago, he had an opportunity to escape Hungary as a political refugee and start over from scratch. Maybe it's an opportunity to be here today. Take advantage of improving your life, changing your circumstances. But what it comes down to is this choice that every one of us has on a daily basis. What am I going to do with the opportunity that I have? And in that moment, the voice that's in my head, last night I woke up, like I said, I had a massive anxiety, I couldn't sleep. So that's what was going on in my head. And it just put everything into perspective, just like that. And it was humbling. And I felt just like a pinch of, Jay, this is an opportunity. Don't mess with it. Don't take it for granted. Because opportunity isn't something that everyone has. And I think in life we have opportunities to do things. We have opportunities to do things great sometimes. There's some opportunities that come our way. There's some that we take advantage of. They don't work out. There are some that we don't take advantage of, and we wonder if they would have worked out. But I think the only thing that really matters here today is how to gain momentum in your life from wherever you are right now. And wherever you are right now, we're all physically here in this room. But wherever you are right now is not in some cornfield fleeing for your life with a foot of oppression on your neck. And the only thing more depressing than that is those of us that are in first world countries licking our wounds and fussing over our first world problems, but there is no foot of oppression on our neck. And we're still laying with our face in the mud. And that's an affront to the lesser privileged, in my opinion. So today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Today is an opportunity for a fresh start in a lot of ways. For those of you that are brand new affiliates, if you're here, this is your first Momentum Day, welcome. We'll get cheery a little later. Welcome. This is your first Momentum Day, you're probably thinking, holy crap, what did I get myself into? What the heck is Jay talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. I take what I do seriously. At least I do my best to take it seriously. I do my best to take advantage of the opportunities that I have. And I know Stuart does as well. And I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful, incredibly thankful and privileged to be here with you guys today. To be able to spend this day with you, talk about moving your lives forward, your businesses forward, creating momentum, just doing something special. For whatever reason, whatever cause, whatever purpose you have. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not because you're here out of life or death. It may feel like that, but if you put it into context, like the context that was shoved into my face at 2 o'clock this morning, it just shifted my perspective. And I felt like sharing that story with you guys this morning because I oftentimes feel like we say one thing, but our actions and our emotions aren't necessarily attached to it. And at the end of the day, I'm no more responsible for your success than I am for your failure, and neither are you for mine. But we're all here because we're a community. We want something. And sometimes when you're backed into a corner and when there's a gun at your head and you're like a rat in a corner, that fight or flight instinct that causes you to take action with sincerity, sometimes that's needed as a wake-up call to really motivate us. But I get the feeling that we're, A lot of our problems are really first world problems. You got credit card debt's a big deal. You got a credit card to begin with. How bad could life really be? I mean, if you really put it in perspective, where did this family come up with $30,000? Where did they come up with $30,000 to pay the smugglers, to get them out? But the one thing I can say for sure is that when I've had an opportunity to do something, and I believed in it, and I had a cause or a purpose behind it, and I took it seriously, I didn't back down. And I didn't quit. I didn't quit. So in order to get momentum, the first thing that has to happen before you can have momentum in anything is to have direction. What you're going to learn today, getting momentum is the hard part. Once you have momentum, maintaining that momentum is actually much, much easier. It gets easier with time. Like a train that is at standstill, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to get that train moving. But once it's moving, the inertia wants to keep it moving. And then it's a matter of just maintaining it and then growing it from there. So getting momentum is what really today is about, getting momentum. And I'd like to frame the entire day here today as if we're all starting from a standstill. So even if you do have momentum, there's over 50% of the room, I'm just going to assume that you guys are starting from standstill, nothing. Zero momentum on your side in terms of in your business. And then I'd like to create that context today, and we'll speak, and we'll teach, and we'll train today from the context of the last quarter of 2015, which starts in just a few days. Last quarter is coming up. Can you believe that? Another year is almost gone. It's unreal. Where the heck did it go? It's like, I feel like we were just talking about New Year's resolutions last week, and it's like, so the last quarter of the year in my business has always been my favorite part of the year. And the reason it's been my favorite part of the year is because there's the opportunity to have momentum coming out of the summer, to go into the winter, go into a new year, just that cycle. And if I go back to 2004, which was my first year full-time marketing online, the last quarter of 2004 was a life-changing quarter for me. Life-changing. The third quarter of that year, I had quit my job about halfway through the year. So in the third quarter, June, July, August, September, October, I had built some momentum in my business. But it took me about 3 years to get to the point where I could quit my job and replace my income full-time. So by the middle of 2004, I had done that. And I felt like I was kind of home free. I can remember that day like it was yesterday, driving my little Jetta home from the repair shop. The windows were down, it was beautiful, just beautiful weather. I had the music cranked up, and it's just this feeling of freedom. And actually related to these people that were like celebrating that they had reached the shore in this dinghy, that they had made it, because there's so many boats that have sunk. They were like picking up life preservers, boats that had sunk and people had drowned, kids' life preservers and stuff. I'm just like, oh my God. And then all of this came rushing back to me in the context of, here we are, September 2015. I've been privileged to not just write my own paycheck, but have an incredible life and incredible experiences and make incredible friends and build incredible businesses and have incredible relationships and just incredible experiences and all of that. And I gotta say, I felt ashamed for just a moment that I'd lost sight of the big picture. And in that moment, that was a wake-up call. That was a wake-up call. And I didn't need to sleep after that. I didn't feel the temperature of the room. The pillows, I don't know what happened to the pillows. I was out of bed, I flipped the lights on, unpacked my bags, my work case from the night before. I was like, you know what, I probably should eat something. Got the late night menu. There's only a couple things on there. Chicken tikka masala. Seemed to work the night before. So I called down to room service. No answer, no answer. Called again, no answer, no answer. Called again, and then all of a sudden the reception picked up and they were like, hey, yeah, we'll have them call you back in 5 minutes. So I gotta eat something. And my stomach was just like, but I knew I was hungry, but at this point there was no poor Jay, I'm starving. I even considered eating the little wafers that were in the cabinet. I opened up the mini bar, and for about a half a second I was pissed off that they don't stock the mini bars here anymore. It says, this is for your own convenience. Please call the front desk if you'd like something. And for like a half a second I was like, you gotta be kidding me. The mini bar is even empty. How am I supposed to build a business? How the heck am I supposed to what the? But that was just, I didn't let that thought dwell. Didn't let that dwell because there was a new context for my mind in that moment. And I was like, you know what, Jay? You'd be all right. Picked up the phone again and called, and he said, I'm really sorry, we're really busy. I won't try to do the accent. I'm really sorry, we're really busy and understaffed. And I said, can I just, and he's like, yes, just, I'll bring it up to you. What would you like? And the young guy at the front desk, the receptionist, he took down my order. He was so cute. He called back 5 minutes later to confirm. He said, okay, I've got it in to the kitchen. I'll call you before I bring it up just to make sure. So he called back, and 5 minutes later, the door, got a knock on the door, and he came in. He was all flustered, and he's like, where would you like your food? And I said, oh, just over there on the table somewhere. And he put it down, and I said, wow, you guys must be really busy down there. What's going on? And I was actually in a really good mood at this point because I had this moment, and he said, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I didn't even bring a check, so this is on me. And he just walked out. And I wasn't, it crossed my mind, gosh, I should just, I was going to tip him on the tip. Thank you, I appreciate you bringing me some mildly warm, lukewarm chicken tikka masala at 2 in the morning. But he left before I could even give him a tip. And I thought to myself, you know what? That could be me too. Working reception at 2 in the morning. Having to deliver some chicken tikka masala to some entitled white dude who's pissed off that he can't get, room service. And that, and again, it just reinforced, Jay, you started from the bottom. And in some respects, we all started from the bottom, wherever that was. And we start to climb that ladder of life, right? And sometimes you step on a rung and it breaks and you fall, you crack your shin, it hurts. But at the end of the day, we got to pick ourselves up. Because if you give up, that's the only sure way. That's the only sure way to fail, is if you quit. So, normally we talk about, increasing your momentum and building your business with the assumption that, you've got some momentum. But today, I'm committed to you, from my heart to yours, to share, in my opinion, with my experience, and I know I speak on behalf of Stuart if I do choose to give him a chance to say something, that he will agree and he will back that up as well. But we both started. I think we should have been was it Paul D? And he went actually school to be a comedian, didn't you? Or acting school. Yeah. See, he didn't have to go to acting school. Oh gosh. So I had my chicken tikka masala, and it was, I didn't have any judgments about it, I'll just say that. It filled my stomach and it was warm. I put on something a little bit more inspirational on the TV. There's a lot of late night weird gambling show things on TV. What are those? I've never seen that before. You know what I'm talking about? I've never seen that before. We don't have that. Like online gambling, like what? This is so weird. Like there was literally 6 of these shows on. Anyway, all joking aside, I found something less depressing to put on the TV, but I didn't forget that moment. I wanted to share that moment with you today to create a starting point, to begin to have a conversation about taking your life where you want it to go. But that said, there's got to be a reason for it. And whatever reason brought you through those doors this morning, the song that was playing when you came in is called Heaven. And we're going to break here in just a few moments to give you guys a chance to go out and kind of regroup yourselves. We are committed to being on time, and I'm actually a little bit ahead of schedule. It's not even 11:15 yet. You know I love to burn up the clock, all right? That song, if you listen to the words when you come back in the room after the break, if you listen to the words, you're here for a reason. And to me, this is heaven. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else here today. I would not want to be anywhere else than right here today with you, because you guys are my friends, you're my family, you're my community. I'm here for you. By myself, missing my kids, up in my room, fussing over my first world problems. In that context, I was here for myself. Right? So, a shift in mindset is sometimes all it takes to get things moving in the right direction. You know, I can't control the thoughts that pop into my head any more than you can. From time to time, I realize that I can control the thoughts that are in my head. I can't prevent a bird from landing on my head or even dropping some doo-doo, but I can prevent it from building a nest there. And whatever nest that you've allowed to be built on your head, whatever brought you here, maybe that nest is getting too big and life's just not working, flexibility, freedom, whatever first world problem you have, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you though. Because if I feel sorry for yourself, that means that I can go back to my room tonight and feel sorry for myself. And if I was going to do that, I wouldn't be here today. So we're either in this together, or we're all here to create something special and not squander an opportunity that most don't ever have a chance to have. The Six Figure Mentors is the affiliate program for Digital Experts Academy, and this afternoon I'll be sharing some of the vision of what we're building with that company. And we need you guys. Well, take that back. We don't need you guys. We'll find different ones if we have to. But I'm saying that with all due respect and sincerity, because there are millions of people, in fact, the BBC is doing a series this week called Intelligent Machines. And I watched episode 3 last night. And that was a tiny bit more inspiring, because they're only predicting half of middle-class jobs to be gone within 20 years due to artificial intelligence. About half. That's Oxford University. You guys all have BBC access to it. Watch that series. It will blow you away. What's happening in the digital economy right now, and the timing of this, and this is where I'm going with all of this, the timing. Timing is everything. Just like the war that's happening, that's displacing all of these people, they didn't choose to go through that set of experiences, to go through that have to go on that journey right here, right now. Literally, since I started talking an hour ago, there have been probably another 30 or 40,000 people that have tried to sneak into the EU. At the same moment that that is happening, we have an opportunity to take a jump start on 2016. There are things that you can do as a group, inspiring each other, helping each other, taking care of each other, coaching each other, as long as the group is committed to that same path. Because once you get out into the wilderness and you get 30, 60, 90 days in, you guys know, you guys have done a lot of the 90-day challenges, whether the video challenge or whatever. Like, disenchantment kicks in on like day 3. You know? Day 4, maybe. At least it does for me. And then you got to dig deep. And then you're okay for a day or 2. Then somebody makes a negative comment on your Facebook wall, and it just like, poof, it takes all the wind out of your scales. And it's like, oh, now I got to go amp myself back up again. And then you generate your first 10 leads, and then 3 of them unsubscribe and say nasty things about you in the unsubscribe comments. And you want to go slit your wrists because it's like, it makes you feel so horrible. Guys, these are all tiny little growing pains. Tiny, 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 tiny little growing pains that need to be put into perspective. And what they need to be put into perspective of is something much, much bigger reason why you're doing this. At your core, why are you here? What is your cause? What is your purpose? What is driving you? Because if I'm going into battle with a bunch of people that aren't committed, we're all going to get killed. That's just how life works. That's just how life works. So there's the group journey that we're all on, but there's also the individual journey. There's the individual journey that took you from wherever you were yesterday to here, to be in this room. But we're all here right now. And just to prove that I can do things on time and actually maybe even be, not even...
It's 11:09, everybody.
Like...
It's 11:09, Jane.
I'm really just stopping because I need a drink of water. I'm just kidding. So let's have a great day. I know that was a bit of a somber, maybe a lesser than like, oh yeah, rah rah. Let's stand up and rub each other's shoulders and, you know, do this and, you know, and like all that kind of stuff. You can do that later in your room, the bar tonight. Man, I'm serious as death. Nimoni Morris here. Let's have a great day. And again, we're starting from scratch. From scratch. So, Martin. Hopefully we achieved our goal of giving some of our belief to you. And if we did, then let's celebrate that.